Merry Christmas to everyone. Join us here on Sri Lanka Football as we bring you live coverage of the Champions League. Following a festive holiday, we are now back for action in game number 10. Today it'll be Java Lane playing Crystal Palace. Both teams are from Group A and they sit 6th and 5th position respectively on the table. Neither team has managed a single win. Java Lane versus Crystal Palace, and they will be both hoping to open their accounts this evening as we see a bit of clouds over us, even though it's a black sky with a humidity of 72 degrees, 72%, and a temperature of 29 degrees, where we could be reaching that towards the latter part of the game, and a wind speed of 22 kilometers per hour. Nothing much to really tell you about the weather, but as we have a look at the results from last week, Sri Lanka Polish thrashing Matra CC 5-0, New Star hammering SLTB 8-0, Super Sun getting over Moragas Muller 2-0, Serendib and Java Lane, well, that was no doubt the game of the week, even though the scoreline read 1-0 in favor of Serendib. Pelicans managed 4 over solid, and Saunders, well, they were held against Nigambo YFC to a 2-all draw. That was the games that were concluded over the last weekend, and the action only heats up here at the Racecourse Stadium. The points table looks like this. As I said before, Crystal Palace sit in 5th place with Java Lane in 6th place. Both teams having played one game and lost their respective game by a margin of 1 goal. And it's New Star who sit pretty on top with 2 wins out of 2, 11 goals to the good. Serendib second, they are 2 unbeaten with 6 points to their name. Saunders, another unbeaten team, the only one left, the third one rather, with 4 points to their name. Nigambo Youth 1 point, while Crystal Palace, Java Lane and SLTB, they are yet to open their account in Group A. In Group B, it's surely tightening up at the top. Only Sri Lanka Police are unbeaten. Beg your pardon. There are 3 unbeaten teams, but Sri Lanka Police sit pretty on top with 2 wins out of 2. Pelicans, a single win and a draw, gets their 4 points. Super Sun, 1 win and a loss. They sit with 3 points on top, while St. Mary's, they too have drawn their only game and are unbeaten with a single point. Drawn level with Moragas Muller solid with a point each, while Matra CC are in 7th place with 1 defeat out of 1 and 0 points to their name. You can watch this action from all around in Sri Lanka and abroad. In Sri Lanka, of course, on Facebook and YouTube, you will catch the action on Sri Lanka Football. On terrestrial TV, you can find the game on Supreme TV, and on OTT, it is none other than ThePapare.com. ThePapare rather, beg your pardon. Today's result saw St. Mary's defeat Matra CC 2 goals to the good, and this is the final game of day 1, or rather match day 1 on week 4. There is more action that will follow tomorrow and day after, as they did not play on Christmas Day, and they took that game to the 29th of December. Java Lane now set to take on Crystal Palace. Solid Super Sun tomorrow. New Star versus Serendib. That'll be a crunching encounter. And Moragas Muller will take on the unbeaten Police, while Saunders will have the opportunity to pile pressure more on SLTB. Plenty of action lined up as we await the two teams' entrance into the stadium to kick off the thrilling game between Java Lane and Crystal Palace. Both teams unbeaten will be hoping to get off the mark and open their account on the points table. Both teams from Group A. Java Lane lost 1-0 last weekend, while Crystal Palace, in their only game, they faced defeat by a margin of 2-1. Crowd filling up and awaiting the two teams' arrivals as football action resumes and heats up here in the city capital in Colombo. Another game to look out would be New Star versus Serendib, which will take place tomorrow at this time. A late night kickoff, 8 p.m. Both teams field in foreigners and will be looking to get the maximum out of the foreign players who represent their clubs. Java Lane will be lining up 4-5-1 with the Crystal Palace set to line up 4-4-3 formations as they take on each other. The two teams in all readiness, set to take center stage. As the young ball boys carry the FIFA flag to the center of the field, as the two teams and the referees, the officials follow. Nimon Rubesh will be the man with the duties of taking charge of this game, as Udayakanta and Akash will be his able assistants. Java Lane in their hot pink, while Crystal Palace will be in their blue strip. Both sets of players will no doubt be eager for this game to kick off, as the team introductions take place. And the fans make their way into the stadium. Up next will be the two skippers, Mohammad Shemak and Harshana Sumudu from Crystal Palace and Java Lane, lining up with the officials for the all-important toss. The pre-game photograph being captured. As Ola, the foreigner from Java Lane, lines up against a few fellow mates in his opposition. Official photograph prior to kickoff, as the two teams swap sides, and the officials with one final congratulations. Here are the outfits: Asela, Abdul, Derek, Harshana, Azad, Rizkan, Alim, Irfan, Oluwale, Abinash and Ashfaq Ayub line up for Java Lane. Ayub in goal with Harshana Sumudu the captain. Nazar Hamid will be the head coach. For Serendib, it will be J. Kumar, Isaac, Mohammed, Johnson, Michael, Inam, Shemak, Bandaragoda, Riflan, Godwin and Ajit Kumar lining up for Crystal Palace, as Nalinda Konara will be their head coach. And we are about to kick off, as I welcome Navod into the com box. Navod.
Good evening, Romario. Yes, both teams having lost their games. Crystal Palace in week 1, they had a week off in week 2. While Java Lane last week lost to Serendib 1-0, as Java Lane kick things off, attacking from right to left on your screen. In their pink and black. Important game, like I mentioned. Teams only have 6 games, after which the top 4 of each group will move into the Super 8, and the next, the bottom 3 will move into the relegation battle. And straight away We see Javelins, Irfan Imadullah. Looks like got his wind taken out of him. Nasty fall, yes. That Crystal Palace player landing on him. Looks okay to continue. Ashfaq Ayub, the former Pete Wright. Straight down the middle, headed back. As Imadullah shepherds the ball out. Good work early on. It's vital how you start things off. The first 10-15 minutes crucial for either side. Crystal Palace coming from Gampala. Having had the brunt of the devastation we had from the Hurricane Ditwa. Looking to bring some joy back to Gampala.
Both teams just feeling their their way into the game.
Crystal Palace definitely boosted by the arrival of their long-standing number 7 Isaac Abba, who has been with the team for over a decade, since they were in Division 1 and in promotion when they came into the Champions League.
It's good to see the foreign players bringing in the flavour into this Champions League now.
Four of them, in fact, for Crystal Palace. Apart from Isaac Abba, we have Rukabe Johnson, Michael Akai, and Godwin Amisao. While for Javelin, we have Oluwaseun Olawale, who has made a home for himself here in Sri Lanka.
Indeed, he has been representing Javelin for quite some time now. He's stuck to his guns this year as well.
And also being part of the Colombo Kickers Academy.
Indeed, there's some coaching there, as he does for some schools as well.
Here's Alim, surrounded by 3. Gets out of jail. All over the top for Malaka Sumudu. Mohammad Riflan collects it. There was a collision as well between Riflan and the Javelin skipper. It's Harshana Sumudu Malaka Pereira. Here's that incident. 50-50 call, both Malaka Pereira and Riflan going for the ball.
Both players playing with their hearts on their sleeves, going for that delivery, a teasing delivery, which I thought had just a bit too much on it on first wave in, as it just looped over the attacker Harshana Sumudu. But he did well to get his head to the end of the ball. By the looks of it, he has been winded. Michael giving some friendly advice to his goalkeeper, Mohammad Riflan, as the coaches watch on from the edge of the technical area. With a bit of advice coming in from Nazar Hamid, head coach of Java Lane. And in the opposite end, it's Nal in the corner. As we resume play with the drop ball now. Still Sumudu seems to be finding himself in an uncomfortable situation. Winded. Hopefully for his sake it's nothing too serious, even though the stretcher has come out. Isaac and Ola acquainting themselves. Majority of the foreigners from the same region joining this Sri Lanka Football Champions League. Discussions going on between the coaching staff of Java Lane, deciding who will be replacing Harshana Sumudu, as Konar, the head coach of Crystal Palace, looks on. Thankfully, by the looks of it, the stretcher will not be required, as Harshana makes his way back up to his feet. And we are set to restart after that Slight delay due to the injury.
We are back underway.
Long ball by Michael, trying to find Johnson, who was unfortunately caught offside. Quite difficult to tell you on that angle. However, the assistant referee through ball coming in. Oh, what a good spot there by Michael. Gets in the way. Stops that attack, but Ola wins it back. Shot taken from a distance by Alim, but doesn't really trouble the goalkeeper now.
Palace having two towering players at the back and one up front. Kavi Johnson alongside Isaac Abba and Michael Akai playing as a central defender at the back. Both easily above at least 6'4", 6'5", the tallest of which would be Michael Akai. Definitely be interesting to see how Crystal Palace play out their dead ball situations, free kicks and in corners. They would definitely like to take advantage of Johnson's and Akai's height. Here they come on the left. Palace being pushed back. Shamak. Kai puts the ball up front on the left, goes out, throw in for Javelin.
Trying their best to play out from deep are the team in pink. But both teams still feeling their way into the game. No real attack of any sort has been mounted as yet. Harshana running in from the right and gets the cross, but no takers, as Michael gets a bit of word from the referee. Unable to see really what happened there. That was before that, but it was after that in the center circle. Ola took a tumble. Not too sure why he did, but we are back underway as Palace wins possession through Inam. Now down the left was Jay Kumar, but he was powered off the ball. Alim tries to pick out his supporter, but again the first touch letting down Javelin as Hemant Bandaragoda floats one to Jay Kumar on the left. He teases his way and gets in a cross that has been touched into a corner kick. The first corner of the game now would come in the way of Crystal Palace, and like you were saying before, now we can surely expect their tall timber to be finding themselves in the middle of the box.
Yes, indeed. Michael Akai has made himself into the box. Just like that. It is Michael Akai who has given Crystal Palace the lead. Ball in. Well, we were hoping it was a header, but it landed at his feet for a simple tap in. Michael Akai, as Crystal Palace takes a 1-0 lead in the 17th minute.
Well, that was as easy as it gets for Michael. The ball looped over the defense as Michael found himself in the right place at the right time and just managed to get his foot in the way and deflected it towards goal. Michael Akai, that is from Crystal Palace, who scored the goal. Ola getting a lovely through pass, but just a bit too much on it. Comes back, fights back, receives the ball again. Both teams playing a bit of ping pong. Javelin now trailing by a goal, trying to gain control, but they won't be doing that with those sort of passes. As Riflan, the goalkeeper, takes his own cool time and clears his lines. Javelin, in similar fashion to last weekend, they'll be chasing the game from now on until they are able to find that equalizer now.
Yes, Javelin being pressed high up the pitch by Isaac Abba and his forwards. Derek Fernando, good ball in. Yard to front of Harshan Sumudu.
Would have been interesting to see whether he was offside, but just a bit too much on that by Derek Fernando. As another opportunity goes back in, but here's Kumar. Gets the ball away, and will that be the goal? Yes, it will. Harshan Sumudu rather. Well, he somehow knows his way to the goal, and he finds it on that occasion as they draw level now.
Fantastic from the Javelin skipper Harshan Sumudu, going away from the goal, just chipping it past Riflan as it trickles into the goal under pressure from his opposite number. A fantastic finish from the Javelin skipper.
As the crowd gets vocal, the Javelin supporters cheering their team on. Now Javelin's opening goal And straight away, brimming with confidence, Ola running onto it, gets it back. Just unable to get that ball under control. The skipper leading from the front for Javelin as they draw level. Looking for Johnson that time were the Palace midfielders, but just a bit too much on it as he too was in an offside position. Derek Fernando winning the ball, but before that there seemed to be a bit of a hand by Isaac. Rizgan with a hopeful delivery. No takers. Crystal Palace trying hard, but Abhishan was the player getting in the way from Javelin. Inam. Not the best of throws as it's Abhishan again. Ola running in to his opposite team skipper, Mohammad Shemak, that is, and gets his bum on the floor. Tough landing. As Michael lines over the dead ball. The complexion of the game drastically changed now after that goal from Javelin. And now you can see that the momentum is slowly but surely. They are gaining momentum slowly but surely.
Yes, it was important for Javelin to quickly hit back. Plenty of football left in this game as Rizgan tries to go past Hemant Bandaragoda. Throw in for Crystal Palace. Straight to Harshan Sumudu. Puts that ball on the left. Rizgan. Brilliant ball to Olosio Nolowale. Ball sneaking under him.
Getting in the way was Mohammad Shemak as Crystal Palace working their way out from back. Johnson shrugging off a couple of would-be defenders. Crystal Palace trying to string a few passes and reassume control in the game. Long ball coming in, not the best of deliveries, but Javelin through Rizkan, looking to go long, but here's another attempted through ball, trying to get in behind the defense.
No way past the towering Michael Akai, at least not over him.
"25 minutes has shot past us. Both teams having opened their scores. It was Michael who opened the scorers in this game for Crystal Palace. And not too long after, Harshana Sumudhu, the skipper of Java Lane, a teasing delivery, he got it past the keeper into the goal. Crystal Palace now looking to mount yet another attack. Cross comes in from the left hand side, but cleared out of harm's way. Jay Kumar taking the throw. Recovered by Johnson. Tries to go for the flamboyant shot, but Peters out. Good delivery there, and controlled by the number 11 Alim as he's put under pressure, but just on two different wavelengths were the players, Derek and Alim. No one running onto it as the pass was displaced. Abba gets sandwiched it between two defenders and wins a free kick. Bandaragoda standing over this dead ball. Holding a high line are Java Lane, but a bit of a dummy. Sees the ball being won by by Johnson rather, but bit of a high foot. Catches Irfan, and they win a free kick to Java Lane. The first touch just getting away from Johnson. He tried his level best to recover, but the ball had trickled away from him.
Johnson. Palace needing a solid foundation. Gives away position. Ball has gone out. Throw in for Palace.
Throw in. Turned around for a corner by Johnson. Well, in fact, beg your pardon, that isn't a corner. Taken shot by Java Lane. Looking to attack down the right flank. Going for yet another through ball. Oluwale. To no avail. Just trying to make things happen, but nothing really going their way as Bandaragoda receives from the keeper. A bit of a shaky play out from the back, but Palace secures position again. Godwin stepping up a bit as another teasing cross comes in. However, the keeper is up to it. Was Ayub, and trying to break Java Lane. Dangerous tackle coming in there. Studs showing, but not too much damage done. Godwin to Abba. He gets in across. Tees in delivery there. Beating everyone. But somehow cleaned up as Bandaragoda. Now he puts in across. Doesn't really find their man. Does Palace. But Javelin trying to go from deep. Sumudu was the intended recipient of that pass by Rizkan, but just seemed to be having a bit too much on it. As the referee seems to be having a bit of a word with the Java lane player. Palace down the right, making their way, looking for the player on the left. Jay Kumar, that is. Gets in a loop-in ball. Here's a chance. Java lane defends well, but another opportunity goes astray, this time by Isaac. Bringing on the flare, but just unable to make the keeper work on that occasion. As we pass the half-hour mark, nothing to separate the two teams. Abinas gives it out to Asele as he goes long. Tries to find a forward to no avail. Yet again a through pass, just not picking through the defense. But now Sumudu caught offside on that occasion. Was expecting the fast pass the first time, but just receives it a bit late. That time around, once he received it, he was just offside. He had straight offside now.
Yes, an easy decision for Malisha Akash. Former under 20 skipper for Dharmadutta College in Badulla. Good to see some of the players making their way into referee. As we see first yellow card of the game going for Godwin Amisawa of Crystal Palace.
Both teams making it an opportunity to take a quick sip of water as we see that replay. Studs showing with not just one but both legs, and he's lucky that there was not too much damage done. But now an opportunity from about nearly 30 yards out for Derek Fernando, lining up over the red ball with Mohammad Alim Navod.
Derek, no way past Johnson. Again, Miles offside.
By the looks of it, it was Azad who was miles offside. Back live as Sajid finds Jay Kumar on the left side, left flank rather.
Olivali does well to win position back. He's not happy. Showing the referee that there was a shirt tug. Middle of the park, Amisao is down, holding his calf. Maybe the Achilles. Just have to wait and see, or maybe a change of boots.
Hoping for a bit of better luck with a new pair of wheels. Godwin. As Jay Kumar is played through, but just a bit too much on it. Ayub comes to clean up the mess. Trying to play from a deep Java lane. Trying to be a bit too cute. But by the looks of it, Sajid has gone to the floor. Tackled by Alim. But the throw has been awarded as Sumudu, the skipper, comes in deep, trying to play Ola through, but just a bit offside was Oluwaseun. Trying to catch that high line off guard. The javelin players, but just unable to beat the offside trap. As Ayub prepares for a clearance.
Four minutes gone in this game. Javelin have been the better team since going down early in this half. The clearance sliced away. Throw in for Crystal Palace. Bandaragode to Johnson. Back to Bandaragode. Here's Shamak. This is Shamak. Ball goes out, Javelin takes it quickly. Here's Olawale, cuts back in, slight deflection. Derek straight at Akai, and the follow-up effort from Rizkan going way off target.
They did everything right, did Javelin, but just that final bit of work by Ola, unable to beat the on-rushing defender Derek and Sumudu. Derek failed to find the shot piercing the defense, but Sumudu did. However, over the goal it sails. Palace players trying to play over the defensive line of Javelin. Sumudu, the skipper, sets up Azad. There's some good composure shown by Alim. Javelin trying to get that tease in cross was Rizkan, but just had a bit too much on it. Bandaragoda did well to keep him under wraps, and the cross just sailing over the crossbar. There will be quite a few minutes added on now, or we'll be expecting after that early stoppage, as Harshanu Sumudu found himself winded.
Yes, Romario, I won't be surprised if we have at least 5+ added minutes. Riflan taking the ball back into the penalty box. Lavale having to come in, and here's Rukavi Johnson, tackle from behind. Unnecessary from Javelin's number 20 Puvaneswar and Abhishan. Needs to keep his emotions in check. Lucky not to get a yellow card after kicking that ball away.
Javelin opting for the high line as Isaac lines up the free kick, takes it on target, but Ashfaq Ayub does really well to hold on to the ball.
Yes, there will be 5 minutes of added time to end the first half. Ashfaq Ayub collects it, and on the other end it's Akai against Rizkan.
Acrobatic save coming in from Ayub. Crystal Palace feeling their way back into this game. Isaac Abba a bit more prominent. Towards this latter part of the first half. Bandaragoda gets a throw in, cross coming in, but just a bit too much on it for Godwin. Jay Kumar swivels and turns as he somehow manages to win his team a throw in. Godwin, pocket picked there by Alim. Keeping the ball close was Javelin. However, Sajid seemed to have just nicked his knee. Or did he just twist it inside? Well, not too sure we can say that by looking at that replay. But Sajid seems to be finding himself in a bit of strife. Palace with that through ball, an opportunity before the half comes to an end. Unable to get the cross in was Inam, but he somehow manages to find that ball ricocheting off. Takes it quickly. Now Bandaragoda trying to go around the defender, does successfully. Gets the left foot cross in, tries the acrobatic shot, but a goal comes in. Isaac Kaba. Not the intended assist by Michael, but Abba finds himself in the right place at the right time and tucks home the second goal for Crystal Palace.
Isaac Abba marks his rival back at Crystal Palace. The wonderfully finished goal on the volley. Hemant Bandaragoda did wonderfully well to go past two defenders. Michael Akai's scissor kick with an unintended assist, and Isaac Abba gives Crystal Palace a 2-1 lead just before half time.
3 goals in the first half as the ball is clattered into the face of Oluwaseun Oluwale.
Jersey number 7, Isaac Abba.
A goal and an assist by Michael as he's trying to assist his opposition off the floor. Flush on the face of the striker. That'll no doubt to wake him up. Now in borrowed time we are. Crystal Palace, they'll no doubt be looking to just see off this last few minutes. Riflan clears it, gets plenty of height than distance, but now Hemant Bandaragoda, he has been pivotal. Azad rather, to Ola. Well, that is an decision time now for the referee. Outside the box. He's going to his pocket. It will be a yellow card for Riflan. The second yellow of the game for Crystal Palace. Ola did all the hard work to reach, and well, I think Riflan knew that he had the support coming towards the goal. and he ensured that he took out Ola and got a yellow for his team, but in quite a dangerous part of the field. Crystal Palace will now have to defend.
Definitely there was no need for Riflan to come out of his lines. As we see the effort palmed away by Riflan. Good effort from Derek Fernando. And equally well kept by Riflan. Keep things at 2-1 for Palace. Rizkan's free kick, looping way over everyone as Nivan Robesh blows for half time, an extended half, with Crystal Palace leading 2-1 the 45-minute break.
Michael opened the scorers early on in the game, but it was Harshan Sumudu who equalized not soon after. But towards the end of the first half, Michael found himself assisting Isaac Abba as Crystal Palace goes in to Lemons with 2 goals to 1, a single goal advantage. Javelin will be kicking themselves to be finding themselves going into the break with a goal down, but they have 45 minutes more to turn around their fortunes. Crystal Palace 2, Javelin 1 at half-time here from Racecourse. Yeah, the highlights of that first half. The opening goal came courtesy of Michael, but then did not take Javelin's skipper Sumudu to nick his way over into the back of the net. But then Isaac Abba and Oluwaseun both looked as if they were going to score, to no avail. However, as time was dying out, Javelin tried their best to find that goal that will take them through. Isaac Abba tested the keeper, but then Bandaragoda did extremely well, and a lucky assist by Michael found Abba at the end of it as he tucked in the goal. Oluwaseun thought he had won his team a penalty, but was just outside the box as Derek tested the keeper. But that was that for the first half. 2 goals to 1. Crystal Palace lead Javelin at half-time here at Racecourse. Welcome back to this second half from Racecourse. It's Crystal Palace coming in with the solitary goal advantage. 2-1 over Java Lane. Java Lane now will be looking to bounce back because the 5 minutes before and after half time we all know how crucial it is, and in the 5 minutes before half time they did concede the goal that saw them going down on the scoreboard. But now, after the coaches have had an opportunity to speak to their team, they now come back with 45 minutes of renewed hope. Crystal Palace kicking things off. Crystal Palace in the blue with Java Lane in the hot pink. Inam taking the throw in, but Hemant takes a tumble, trying to turn, but he was caught by Harshana Sumudu, the skipper of Java Lane. The big unit of Hemant Bandaragoda taking a bit of time to get up off the floor, but he's ready to deliver. Bandaragoda feeds it in. However, the Java Lane defenders solid enough to hold on as Ayub collected and throws, sets off their forwards, but another displaced pass by Ola. Searching ball, trying to pick out Rizkan, but just a bit too much on it. Riflan, the keeper of Crystal Palace. It's in a bit of a muddle does Godwin, but somehow does well to clear his lines. As I have Navod back in the combox. Navod, an interesting first half, competitive. Now Java Lane trailing again and will be chasing the game. Trying his absolute best was Rizkan to get the shot through the bodies. He did succeed, however, just off target. As Riflan, the goalkeeper for Palace, scuffs the floor rather while trying to clear his lines. Java Lane now with a long throw, gets off the body of Michael, but they somehow clear things out for a throw in. A A bit too much there by Azad on that, and it trickles out for a goal kick. Javelin somehow winning that second ball. Now a lovely through ball coming in. Here's an opportunity, but just a bit too much, or rather too close to the skipper. Was that cross by Harshan Sumudu? He did everything right apart from cutting that ball. But just unable to find Oluwale. Skipper for Javelin leading from the front. Now yet another through pass. Picking out the number 10. But just his second touch letting him down. On that occasion was Mohammad Rizkan. Trying his utmost is Ola, but just a bit rusty, you can say. Now turning again, sending through. His number 3 was Farik, but unable to just get that cut back going in. As Michael, after playing a pivotal role in that first half, is now coming to the fore in defense. Michael got a goal and an assist in the first half. Corner comes in, let go. Second ball, did try his best, did Rizkan, but just a difficult art to perfect. But the Javelin players still trailing 2-1. Here's another good through pass for Sumudu. Danger time for Crystal Palace because their defense has been opened up one too many occasions too easily. Azad to Ola. Back to Azad. Now Azad running down the line and draws the tackle from his opposite number. Mohammad Sajid on Mohammad Azad. In another telling position on the field, Javelin secures a free kick. Azad lining up over the dead ball, but he leaves it to Derek Fernando. Now an opportunity for the left foot of Derek Fernando, curling it back in towards goal. A 3-man wall set up by Riflan, as the referee is not too happy with Sumudu and Godwin, who tangle on the goal line. Derek curl in the ball, but does not clear Isaac Abba as he heads it out for a corner. And yet another tame end now to a tail-in opportunity. They are throwing bodies forward, Java lane, but just unable to find that tail-in pass. Isaac turning sublimely, but just caught at the last moment as he went to the floor. Derek, pocket picked for Java lane, trying to work that through ball was Johnson. However, both teams unable to hold on to possession. Now Jay Kumar with an opportunity to get the cross in. Tame cross cleared, but falls back to Jay Kumar. But just wind out of his sail. Now another through ball to Ola. Going all out to keep it in. Does really well, but just unable to win the corner. Jay Kumar caught offside. Caught offside on that occasion was Jay Kumar. Javelin still opting for that aerial delivery, trying to catch the Palace defense off guard. Sumudu gets in a tease in cross, well controlled by Ola, but just unable to turn and get that shot off his less favored left foot. Riflan setting it, finds Sumudu onside on that occasion, turn in, getting the pass back. Azad rather, Oluwale shepherded out by Michael, and what a game Michael is having now. Harshana Sumudu trying all his tricks in the box. Now with the throw, getting the cross, but it's deflected for a corner. Javelin as we approach the hour mark, still trailing by a goal. Hazard lining up the corner. Derek comes close, tries to catch his opponents and take a quick corner. Hazard teasing it in and well cleared. As now Java Lane are being pressed, but not the best of passers there, as they clean things up through Hazard. Halim finds Ola, but still unable to get that tail-in touch. Is the only foreigner for Java Lane. Farik beating his defender. Halim. Another tease in delivery towards Rizkan, but Riflan is up to the task. As now the pace of the game is catching up on these players now. as Riflan takes his own cool time, invites the attack of the opposition. And then clears his lines. Java lane, nothing really working for them. 65 minutes on the clock. Now there'll be no doubt looking at the bench will coach Nazar Hamid for a bit of energy as Isaac twists and turns and somehow manages to win his team a corner, as a change is imminent for Java lane. Will it be before this? By the looks of it, it will not. Five Crystal Palace attackers in the box, but the Java lane defense is up to the task. As a change is brewing, and out goes Rizkan, and he will be replaced by Rishad Ahmed. So now a midfielder goes out and he's replaced by a forward as Java lane make their push towards equalizing. Sumudu trying to wriggle his way through, but he's powered off as another through pass comes, but Michael does very good to shield the ball into play, rather out of play. Good pass there coming in, but just unable to thread the needle was Derek. Halim, Arshana, but the flag goes up and nothing really working for Oluwale. Is it Navod? Isaac doing his utmost to eat down a bit of time on the clock, but referee Nivan Rubesh experienced enough, just tell him to go out and receive your treatment. Harshana, the skipper, trying extremely well, rather hard to keep the ball in play. In fact, it was not Harshana. Very hopeful by Java Lane, but this time around they win the corner. Harshana leaves it to Azad. Now they will throw bodies forward, will Java Lane. In fact, it's Derek Navod. Arshana Sumudu has been running his wheels off this evening, and even on that occasion did not come off the first time, but he did really well to recover the second ball and get that second cross in. Just though gets the deflection of Michael as it ricocheted over the goal. Cross comes in, draws the save, but Sumudu just offside and in the eye line of the goalkeeper. So it's deemed to be an offside. Crystal Palace now have no doubt shut up shop and are in all readiness to defend. Here comes Farik, gives it to Ola. He tries but wins the corner. No, he doesn't. Some good defensive play there by Hemant Bandaragoda. He has been immense this evening. Riflan trying to find Dushanthan, but the ball beats everyone into touch. Change come. Another loop-in cross comes in, but Riflan is up to the task. They're giving everything they have got. Java lane, but just unable to unlock this Palace defense. A good search in delivery there by Dushanthan. Ball kept in the field of play. Isaac, but now lost. Sumudu tried his best to bring that ball under control, but after a bit of aerial ping pong, we restart as the Crystal Palace player was caught offside. trying his utmost. Was first Harshana Sumudu in the number 7 jumper, but then after that it was Abba who tried to cut back inside to no avail. Inam. Hoping to get a delivery which will pretty much end this game. Darshana, well, skewed off the top of the boot. Dushantan rather, beg your pardon. Fourth yellow card of this evening. Bandara tried to clear but found Isaac, and Azad lunging in from behind. Not a good sight. Confirmation of that yellow card as Javelin. Try extremely hard to break, to rather draw the game level. Cleared. As here goes Crystal Palace with an opportunity. He had a chance to put the game to bed. But just doesn't find the target. Throwing bodies forward. Azad now for Javelin. Wins his team a corner. Seven pink shirts in the box. Sumudu has been working his socks off this evening. He did score that goal from an impossible angle, but just off target this time around. And now Palace are being pressed as Java Lane are hoisting the ball at every given opportunity. Johnson nonchalantly plays through Inam, but I think that could be the end of this game for the player clutching on to his hamstring. They have lined up a substitution, Javelin, but in fact we are going ahead with the substitution. Richard, the substitute who came on, has now been substituted off by Rizvi Atik. As the confirmation comes, 5 minutes of added time. Javelin with one last opportunity maybe. Isaac playing in Godwin. Free kick quickly taken, but clears the lines. Do Crystal Palace. And Isaac, good intelligence there. Goes for a 50-50 ball with his head and wins the free kick. Not the first contribution Atik would have been hoping for. Godwin teasers one in, but Java Lane somehow clear their lines. Now Sumudurad playing through Azad, but just unable to keep that ball intact was the winger. Ayub goes searching, but doesn't really find a teammate. Johnson is found offside. Quickly taken. To no one in particular, as the Java Lane players' heads drop. Another substitution coming on. Substitute Askar trying to play O-line, but again Mohammad Riflan, the Crystal Palace keeper, is up to it. Isaac gives it to Dushantan. Bit of miscommunication there by the Java Lane players, but they somehow come back. Azad trying really hard down this right wing. Corner taken quickly. Substitute. Atik tried his absolute best. Azad now to take a long throw in. Into the box he goes. But who else but Michael finds himself clearing the ball. Azad turn in. Gets caught, but the referee says play on. Now an opportunity to break. Crystal Palace. But by the looks of it, they are just happy to keep the ball. Here goes Dushantan. Tries to pick out the pass. He does, and well, that was the opportunity for Johnson to put the game to bed. He did everything right, but just enough. He was put off enough by Sajid. Now Azad picking out Ola. He turns, he sets it up, but just unable to find. Here's an opportunity. Goal! Arshana Sumudu in the dying embers somehow manages to prey on the mistake by Mohammad Riflan. He did everything right until the 95th minute of the game. Here you see that replay there, just leaving it behind. Good composure by Oluwale. Sets up the skipper as Sumudu's double, by the looks of it, have helped Javelin to secure an elusive point. He gets booked, does Sumudu, for taking his jersey off. But I don't think that really matters now, as Riflan is on the floor. But I think more than anything, he's covered with disappointment. He did everything right until the 96th minute of the game. And maybe the final ball that he had to collect, he just leaves it behind, fumbles, and Oluwale combines with Sumudu to find the equalizing goal. I think it's just more of disappointment on the face of Riflan. And that brings the game to an end. Javelin supporters are pleased with the point they receive. A hard-earned point. But they will be quite pleased with how they managed to find it in the dying embers.
Ladies and gentlemen,
The first half came to an end with Javelin trailing 2-1. But skipper Sumudu, for all his hard work, it all paid dividends in the final minute of the game, as he found himself at the end of a fumbled delivery by Mohammad Riflan, set up by Oluwale, as Sumudu added the finishing touches, and that means the game comes to an end with nothing to separate the two teams, 2 goals each. I think Crystal Palace will be disappointed with falling short at the last moment. They did everything right apart from clearing their lines. Javelin, on the other hand, will be pleased to have somehow rescued a point in the end. But Mohammad Riflan is still on the floor inside his box, as the full-time score confirmation reads 2 goals to both teams, nothing to separate the two teams, as the game comes to an end and they both secure their first points of this Football Federation Champions League 25-26 competition. Here are a few highlights of that second half. Well, it was there was not too much to talk about until that last moment. Javelin tried extremely hard to find that goal that would have brought them back, but they were unable to do so until the 96th minute. Dushantan had an opportunity. Sumudu ran until his socks came off. Johnson, he too did have a chance, but this was the final kick of the game, which saw Harshana Sumudu find in the back of the net, hugged by the president, elated Javelin supporters screaming from the aisles as we see what's left to come. Solid versus Supersun, New Star versus Serendip, Moragas Mulla versus Police, Sounders versus SLTB. 2 games tomorrow, 2 games day after. The action only heats up. Two games completed, 4 more to go during this week, week 4 in fact, as we prepare to wrap things up. There will be an interview of the player of the match, and it will be no surprise with Michael having such a massive toll in the game. Still waiting for Michael to make his way towards the stand to be interviewed. Riflan still receiving medical attention. A point secured by the greatest difficulty. In fact, Sumudu, by the looks of it, has been awarded the player of the match for the goal in the dying embers. Riflan will be thoroughly disappointed with how the game panned out in the last few minutes. It was all going well. We now have Navod with Harshana Sumudu for an interview.
දැන් මමත් සමග එකතු වෙනවා හර්ෂණ සුමුදු ජාවලන් කණ්ඩායමේ නායකයා ඒ වගේම තරංගී වීරයා හර්ෂණ ගෝල් දෙකකුත් ලබා ගත්තා අන්තිමටම ඩ්‍රෝ කරගන්න ගෝලේ ලබා ගත්තා. ඉතින් අද තරංගය ගැන මොකද හිතන්නේ? මොකද පළවෙනි තරංගය පරාජය වෙලා තමයි එන්නේ. අද තරංගය ගැන කතා කරොත් එහෙම
අපි ඇවිල්ලා අපේ ගොඩක් අපේ පරණ හිටපු හැමෝම අපිට නැති වුණා. ඒගොල්ලන් වෙන වෙන මේ වලට ගියා. සෝ අපි ආවේ අපේ යං සෙට් එකයි අපේ සීනියර්ස්ලා 4-5 දෙනෙක් ඉන්නවා. ඒගොල්ලන් එක්ක තමයි අපි අලුතෙන් within 3 weeks වගේ ඇතුළත තමයි අපි ටීම් එක build up කරේ. නමුත් මං අපේ ගිය මැච් එකත් අපි පෙරදුනත් අපි දුන්න තරඟ ගැන සතුටු වෙනවා. නමුත් මේකත් අපි දුන්නා. අපි අන්තිම වෙනකන් අතෑරියේ නෑ. අපිට සතුටුයි අපේ ටීම් එක අපේ මැනේජ්මන්ට් එක අපිට හැම වෙලාවෙම පිටිපස්සෙන් ඉඳලා උදව් කරා. so happy අද.
ෆස්ට් හාෆ් එකේ ගොඩක් ඒ කියන්නේ ෆස්ට් ගෝල් එක ගියාට පස්සේ ඔයගොල්ලෝ ඉක්වලයිස් කරා. ඊට පස්සේ ෆස්ට් හාෆ් එකේ හොඳට ප්ලේ කරා. නමුත් සෙකන්ඩ් හාෆ් එකේ ෆස්ට් හාෆ් එකේ තිබ්බ තරංකාරීත්වයක් ජාවලන් කණ්ඩායමේ දැක්ුවේ නැහැ. ඉතින් මොකද හිතන්නේ ඊළඟ තරඟ වලට යද්දි මොනවද කණ්ඩායමේ තිබෙන දුර්වලතා ඒ වගේම පොසිටිව්ස් ඉස්සරහට මේ තරඟවලදී මගහැරව ගන්න?
ඔව් අපි සෙල්ලම් කරේ ගොඩක් ඩිෆෙන්ඩින් සමය. මොකද අපි අලුත් ටීම් එකත් එක්ක ඇවිල්ලා ඉඳලා. නමුත් අපි යද්දි කෝච් කියලා ගියා අපි ෆුල් ඇටැකින් කරනවා කියලා. so අපි ඇටැකින් කරා. අපේ තමයි ගොඩක්ම ඇටැකින් සේගලන්ට ගියේ කවුන්ටර් ඇටැක්ස්. so අපි ඊළඟ මැච් වලට මීට වැඩිය හොඳට අපේ සෙට් පීසස් කරලා අපි හොඳ තරඟයක් දෙන්න බලාපොරොත්තු වෙනවා දිනන්නම.
බොහොම ස්තුතියි. ඉදිරි තරඟවල සුබවතන.
thank you brother. thank you very much.
was Harshana Sumudu, the player of the match, for his efforts in securing a point for Java Lane. They will not be too happy with how the game ended, but they managed to rescue a point. Now Navod has yet another guest.
අප සමග එකතු වෙනවා ක්‍රිස්ටල් පැලස් කණ්ඩායමේ පුහුණුකාර නලින්ද කෝනාර. නලින්ද අවසන් තප්පරේදී තමයි ජයග්‍රහණය ගිලිහි ගියේ. තරගය ගැන මොකද හිතන්නේ? ක්‍රිස්ටල් පැලස් කණ්ඩායම ගොඩක් දුෂ්කරතා මැද්ද තමයි ක්‍රිස්ටල් පැලස් කණ්ඩායම පහුගිය මේ තරඟාවලියට දැන් සහභාගී වෙන්නේ. ඉතින් අද තරගය ගැන මොකද හිතන්නේ?
ඇත්තටම අද අපි හොඳ තරගයක් තමයි තුන් තරගයකට තමයි සූදානම් වෙලාවේ. නමුත් ජයපරදුම කාටත් පොදුයි. නමුත් අපි දන්නවා ගිය තරගෙදී සොන්ඩස් කණ්ඩායමත් එක්කත් අපිට මෙවැනි වූ පරාජයක් ලක් වුණා. ඒ කියන්නේ අවසාන මම දැන් තප්පර 30ක වගේ කාලය තුල තමයි ඒ ජයපරදුම තීන්දුව වුණේ. ඉතින් මම හිතනවා මේ තරගෙත් ඒ ලෙසින්ම අපි සම ලකුණු තත්ත්වයටපත් වුණා. හැබැයි මම හිතනවා ඔබතුමා කිව්වා වගේ ක්‍රිස්ටල් පැලස් කණ්ඩායම අතරම අපිට පුහුණු වීම අතරම හරියාකාර කරගන්න බැරි වුණා. මන්ද ඔබ සීලු දෙනා රට ඇති අයහපත් කාලගුණ තත්ත්ව නිසා මම හිතන්නේ මගේ කණ්ඩායමේ පාලන පැත්තෙන් බැලුවොත් ගොඩක් දෙනෙකුගේ මම හිතන්නේ ගෙවල් යට වුණ වතුරට ඒ වගේම තමයි නාය ආවා. නමුත් අපිට ඒත් එක්කම අපිට මේ තරගය අපිට අතාරින්න බෑ. මම හිතන්නේ මේ වගේ පපන් සම්මේලනයේ මේ වගේ මේ තරගයක් මේ සංවිධානය කරපු එකට ඇත්තම ස්තුතියක් දෙන්න ඕනේ. නමුත් ඒ අවස්ථාව අපි මගහරින්න නැතුව අපි ක්‍රීඩකයන්ව පුළුවන් තරම් දීර්ඝමත් කරලා ඔවුන්ගේ නිවාස වලටත් අපි පුළුවන් උදව් කරලා අපි ක්‍රීඩා සමිතිය හැටියට ක්‍රිස්ටල් පැලස් ක්‍රීඩා සමාජය හැටියට ඒ වගේම තමයි මම හිතන්නේ මධ්‍යම පළාතෙන්ම ඉන්න එකම කණ්ඩායම දැනට මේම තරගාවලියට සම්බන්ධ වෙන. ඉතින් ඒ නිසා මම හිතනවා මේ මොහොතේදී ඇත්තටම අපි ලොකු කැපකිරීමක් කරලා තමයි මෙතෙන්ට ආවේ. මම හිතන්නේ ගොඩ දෙනෙකුට පේන්නේ නැති ගොඩක් ක්‍රීඩකයෝ ගොඩක් මානසික වැටලා තිබුණා. මොකද ඔවුන්ගේ සමහර ක්‍රීඩකයෝ මම හිතන්නේ ක්‍රීඩකයෝ ගත්ත ක්‍රීඩකයෝ 6 දෙනෙකුට වඩා ගෙවල් සම්පූර්ණ යට වෙලා තිබුණේ. මම ඔකට දකින්න නැති සමහර අපේ සමාජ මාධ්‍ය වලින් පෙන්නනවා. මම හිතන්නේ ජස්සරුමර අපේ ග්‍රහ සභාපතිතුමත් එම ස්ථානවලට ගියා බලන්න. ගොඩක් දෙනෙකුට ඒ මම හිතන්නේ ගැටලුවට මුහුණ පෑවා. ඒ තුල තමයි අපි මේ තරගයට සහභාගී වෙන සඳහා පුහුණුවීම් කාලට අපි සහභාගී වුණේ. නමුත් මම හිතනවා ගිය තරගයට වඩා මේ තරගයේදී අපි හොඳ තරගයක් දුන්නා. මම හිතන්නේ ජාවලෙන් කියන්නේ දීර්ඝ ඉතිහාසයක් තියෙන හොඳ කණ්ඩායමක් මේ පාපන්දු මේ ඉතිහාසෙම. ඉතින් මම හිතනවා ඒ කණ්ඩායමත් ලේසි නෑ. මොකද ඒ කට්ටියත් හොඳ දක්ෂ පුහුණුවෙන් ලැබපු ක්‍රීඩකයෝ. ඒ වගේම තමයි විදේශ ක්‍රීඩකයෝ ක්‍රීඩා කළා. ඒ කණ්ඩෝ සියලු දෙනාම හොඳයි. ඉතින් දක්ෂයා ඇත්තන හැම වෙලේම ජයග්‍රහණය කළ යුතුයි. ඒ වගේම තමයි මම හිතනවා අපේ මම මේ අවස්ථාවේදී මම අවස්ථාව කරගන්නවා අපේ ක්‍රිස්ටල් පැලස් කණ්ඩායමේ පාලන පැත්තෙන් ඒ අය පූර්ණ සහයෝගයක් මම දන්නේ අසාමාන්‍ය සහයෝගයක් මේ කණ්ඩායම වෙනුවෙන් කැප කරා. ඒ කැපකිරීම තුළ තමයි අද දිනේට අපි තරගයේ සහභාගී වෙලා තරගය නිවා කරමු අපි සුබවාදීව කියලා. ඒ වගේම තමයි ඔබ තමුන්ලාට දෙයක් තියෙනවා අපි හිටපු ක්‍රීඩකයෙක් අපෙන් මේ අන්තරා වුණා මේ ව්‍යසනේ. ඉතින් ඒත් අපි ඒවත් ඉතුරු මේ ඒවත් අපි පසකලා තමයි මේ තැනට ආවේ. නමුත් ඔබතුමා අහපු එකට උත්තරයක් වශයෙන් මම හිතනවා මේ තරගාවලියේ හොඳ තරගයක් ජාවලන් කණ්ඩායම අපිට ලබා දුන්නා. ඒ තරගාවලියේදී අපි පුළුවන් තරම් අපේ උත්සාහය ව්‍යර්ථ වෙන විදිහට අපි try out කරනවා. ඔබතුමාලා දකින්න ඇති මම හිතන්නේ අපේ පෙරපෙළ ක්‍රීඩක සමුරා විසින් උත්සාහයක දිනුමක් ගෝලයක් ලබා ගන්න අවස්ථාවක් තිබුණා. නමුත් ඒක අපිට මගහැරුණා. ඒ උත්සාහයක දිනුමත් සමග අපිට අතන තරගයේ වෙනස් වෙන අවස්ථාවක් මේ මොහොතේ තිබුණා. කියන්නේ කන්වර්ට් මේක ටර්න් පොයින්ට් එකක් එන්න තිබුණා. නමුත් ඉතින් කරන්න දෙයක් නැහැ. ඒක තමයි තරගයේ ස්වභාවය. ඒක නිසා මම හිතනවා මේ ලබාගත් මම හිතන්නේ ජයග්‍රහණයක් තමයි. මොකද අපි හිටපු තත්ත්වෙත් එක්ක ඉතින් ඉදිරි කාල තරග වලට මීට වඩා පුහුණුවෙන් ලබලා මම හිතන්නේ තරගයට සහභාගී වෙන්න තමයි මගේ එකම පැතුම.
ඉදිරි තරග වලට සුබතන කරනවා.
බොහොම ස්තුතියි. බොහොම ස්තුතියි.
That was the coach Nalinda Konara of Crystal Palace. Now it will be the president Maxi to have a few words with Navod.
අප සමග දැන් එකතු වෙනවා ජාවලෙන් කණ්ඩායම නියෝජනය කරමින් මැක්සි ලෙට්‍රන්. මැක්සි තරගයේ අන්තිම මොහොතේ තමයි ඩ්‍රෝ එකක් ලබා ගන්න. ඉතින් පළවෙනි තරගයත් පරාජයට පත් වෙලා තමයි ජාවලින් කණ්ඩායම මේ තරගයට එන්නේ. අද තරගයන මොකද හිතන්නේ සෑහීමකට පත් වෙනවද කණ්ඩායම දක්වූ දක්ෂතාව පිළිබඳ?
ඇත්තට 100%ක් හොඳ තරඟාවලියක්. මම හිතන විදිහට අපේ ක්‍රීඩේ හොඳටම සෙල්ලම් කරා. ඒකත් එක්ක හොඳ chances ටිකක් හම්බුණා අපිට. නමුත් යම් ක්‍රීඩේකට ටිකක් අපි සෙල්ලම් කරන්නේ. පළවෙනි මැච් එකත් අපි මම හිතන ජාතික ක්‍රීඩා 4 දෙනෙක් එක්ක තමයි ටීම් එක සහභාගී වුණේ. අද මැච් එකත් ඒ වගේ තමයි. මම හිතන විදිහට මේ තරඟාවලියම හොඳ තරඟාවලියක් අපිට මුණ දෙන්න වෙන්නේ. ඒකත් සීලම ක්‍රීඩා සමාජය හොඳ මට්ටමක ඉන්නේ. ඒකත් මේ පාර ජාතික ක්‍රීඩා අඩුම ගානේ 3ක් හෝ 4ක් හැම ක්‍රීඩා සමාජයකම ඉන්නවා. අපේ දැනට ඉන්නේ එක්කෙනෙක් තමයි ඉන්නේ. නමුත් අපේ තරුණ ක්‍රීඩකයෝ ඉන්නවා. සෑහෙන අපි පුහුණුව කරගෙන යන්නේ. මින් ඉදිරියට අපි මගේ මැච් අතරම අපේ බලාපොරොත්තුව මගේ හොඳ ටෆ් ටීම් ටිකක් තින්නේ. හොඳ ෆයිට් එකක් දාලා අනිවාර්යෙන් අපි සුපර් 8 එකට එන්න ප්‍රයත්න කරනවා.
ඔබ හිතන හැටියට තවත් දියුණු විය යුතු ක්‍රීඩාංශයන් මොන හරි තියෙනවද කණ්ඩායමක් වශයෙන්?
අපේ දියුණු වෙන්න කියලා කියන්නේ ප්ලේස්ලාගේ ෆොරින් ප්ලේස්ලාගේ තව දෙන්නෙක් විතර අපි බලාපොරොත්තු වෙනවා. ඒකත් මේ තරඟාවලියට යනවා නම් අනිබෝගානේ තව ෆොරින් ප්ලේස්ලා දෙන්න තුන් දෙනෙක් තමයි සහභාගී වෙන්න ඕනේ. ඒකත් එක්කම අපේ යං ප්ලේස්ලාගේ පොඩි අඩුපාඩුවක් තිබ්බා. මේ දවස් ටික අපිට ප්‍රැක්ටිස් සෙෂන් ටික දැන් ගිය සතියේ ඉඳලා කන්ටිනියුව ප්‍රැක්ටිස් කරනවා. අපේ හෙඩ් කෝච් නසාර් සෑහෙන පුහුණුවීමක් කරනවා. මම හිතන විදිහට දැන් 100% අපේ ප්‍රැක්ටිස් සෙෂන් එක හොඳට යනවා. ඉදිරි තරඟාවලිය ඔක්කොම දිනන්න අපි බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන්නේ.
බොහොම ස්තුතියි. ඉදිරි තරඟවල සුබවතනවා.
බොහොමත්ම ස්තුතියි.
That was the president with a few words about today's outing. Pleased to have secured a point in the die numbers, but we'll have plenty to work on as they come back next week. Tomorrow it's a solid against Super Sun and the New Star against Serendip, which will be a mouth-watering encounter. Monday it will be Moragas Mulla versus Police, while Saunders take on SLTB, and that wraps up week 4. And until we see you tomorrow at 4 p.m. from Racecourse, it's thank you and goodbye from me, Romario, alongside Navod and our technical and production crew. Good night.